YouTube Valley community, Beach Boys fans, random people on the internet. My name is Giggens, and we are here today for another episode of Beach Boys Wednesday. On today's episode, a rather simple but blunt question. Was following up Kokomo a lose-lose situation? Look, the guys in the 80s were doing what they could. Their concerts were humongous draws. They always were, and they always will be. That's the lifeblood of the Beach Boys and what keeps them alive. In the early 80s, the Keeping the Summer Alive album had some amazing songs on it, but it just didn't sell. And then Beach Boys 85 was really their time to be like, hey, we're a modern band. We're not just going to rely on our old stuff. Here's a new sound, a fresh sound, new producers, new everything, and see what sticks. And it did fairly well for itself. And Get You Back was a really good charting single. Carl on that album is just... his voice was made for 80s rock radio. It's just incredible. And then in 86 with Made in the USA, they put out Rock and Roll to the Rescue and their amazing cover of California Dreaming. So they were really trying to stay on top of things and sound current and use modern production techniques to sound like a new band. So only a couple years later, by the time they get to Kokomo, it's not necessarily a surprise that this song really took off. They had established themselves as a modern group again, making new music that was ready for radio and had some substance to it and wasn't just light fluff for the sake of being a band. There was actually something happening with this music. Kokomo was at the time the longest running break between number ones from a group. I would love to entertain the idea that this song caught them by surprise. I think when they were recording it, they knew they had something special on their hands. I really think they had an idea that, hey, this might be this could be a hit. The chorus is insanely catchy. It's so Beach Boys. It's such a Mike move. Bermuda, Jamaica, ooh, I want to take you. Come on. The song sells itself. The production is dreamy. It's a magical feeling. It's a state of mind. The Beach Boys in the early days, they were the kings of taking you away from where you were. If you lived in the middle of nowhere, not even near an ocean, you heard a Beach Boys song, you were surfing away. If you were 15 years old and you didn't have a car yet and you heard 409, you were a NASCAR driver. They took you out of your element and made you feel like you were somewhere else. And you believed in that dream. You believed in that energy. You believed in what they were singing about. And with Kokomo, it's a state of mind. The whole idea with Kokomo is your happy place, your inner happy place. Where do you like to go to get away from all the crap in the world? What's your Kokomo? They did it again. Anybody can relate to that. It's an instantly relatable song and something that obviously the public took to very well. And to this day, it's one of their most well-known songs. For a band to have been that deep into their career, 35 years into their career, to have a number one song, and come on. So say what you will about Kokomo, whether you like it or not, the song put the guys back on the map, at the forefront of everybody's minds. The music industry was like, oh, the Beach Boys. Okay. Look, Kokomo did so well, Capitol brought them back for another album. Let me just put that out there. Their home for the 60s brought them back home for the Still Cruisin' album. Now, here's where we get to the next part. I feel like climbing the hill to Kokomo was a steady climb and something that took a lot of effort, a lot of time, and a lot of careful consideration. So, following up Kokomo, which, look, it captures the dreamy spirit of going somewhere else. It captures the sunshine, beachy vibes of a tropical island, connected obviously with the beaches and the Beach Boys' early work. It sounds like the Beach Boys. It's got that catchy 60s refrain, very Help Me Rhonda-esque feel that anybody can sing along to, and everyone knows this song. How do you follow that up? Well, do you? Honestly, I guess you just try your best. Still Cruisin' came out as a single. It's a really good song. It's a solid song, fun song, back to the cars again. Mike sounds awesome on the verses. The production is glistening and shimmering and definitely very 80s. The drums definitely have that Phil Collins, sound, but I dig it. Carl doing the When We Go Cruising. I can't sing like Carl, but stays in your head. Mike bringing back that low voice thing again that he did throughout Kokomo, and a thing he would repeat over the next handful of years, especially on Summer in Paradise. He knew it worked. Why not try it again? Still Cruisin', for its time, did okay. You know, it did okay. There was a music video for it. It got played on the radio. It got played on TV. It was fine. It was a good song. Nothing offensive about it. Catchy, great moments, well sung, well executed. It ain't no Kokomo. They padded out the rest of that record with songs from movies and a few other new ones to kind of give it like a half and half kind of feel. And it works for what it is, but they could have put way more new stuff on there. I think if they stayed in the studio and worked on, 4 or 5 more new songs and just took all the old ones off, that would have been a much more wiser decision. And I think Still Cruisin' would have been seen more as an official album. Of course, it is an official album, but it's very low on people's lists when you talk about the Beach Boys. So, when you're up that high on Kokomo, the only place to go is down. You can't repeat Kokomo. That's such a flash in the pan fluke of a song. Or is it? The work that they put in between Beach Boys 85, Get You Back, to Rock and Roll to the Rescue, California Dreamin', Kokomo. Was Kokomo the top of that hill? Did they reach the top of that hill? Because after that, did they plateau? Or did they come down again? Either way, it's really, really difficult for a band that deep in their career to have multiple hit singles. It just doesn't happen. And I hate to say it, it's because the novelty wears off. It's kind of like, oh, the Beach Boys are back. Oh, boy, I used to love them when I was in high school. You kids know the Beach Boys now, too? Ah, cool. Let's go put that Kokomo song on. And then you just enjoy that song because you gotta remember, a lot of older people, I say older loosely, but a lot of people after the age of 30 stop listening to new music. They just don't care anymore. And if they hear a new song by a band they love, yeah, they'll probably check that one out and enjoy that one song. And if Still Cruisin' wasn't getting pushed as hard as it should have and as well as it could have, Kokomo was still the current song you were going to hear on the radio for years to come. I mean, I grew up with Kokomo. That was my era. Like I was a 90s kid. I heard Kokomo all the time. I never heard Still Cruisin' or Make It Big or Somewhere Near Japan. I never heard those songs. So I almost feel like topping Kokomo was an impossible task. They could have come out with the next Pet Sounds, and I still don't think it would have done as well as Kokomo or be as remembered. So let me know your thoughts. Kokomo. Was it a lose-lose situation trying to follow that up? Let me know. My name is Giggens. This has been a really cool episode of Beach Boys Wednesday. At least I think so. Really stoked to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know what you guys say, and we'll see you guys next Wednesday. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.